On Capitol Hill yesterday, you saw Democratic lawmakers introducing a bill that would dramatically overhaul police policies across America. They say the changes will also make it easier to hold officers accountable for any misconduct, and they're now calling for bipartisan support of this legislation. Watch.
We're going to vote on it, and I'm confident it's going to pass the House. But sadly, I'm not confident that a body that has not been able to pass the Emmett Till lynching bill will pass this bill.
Wyoming Senator Sen Barrasso is chair of the Senate Republican Conference. He joins us now. Senator, good morning.
Thank you, Ed.
How do you answer Steny Hoyer there? There's a lot of controversy right now about that specific bill that would make lynching a federal crime. Will you pledge this morning that you and other Senate Republicans, you're a key member of your party, that you're going to finally make lynching a federal crime?
Well, that's actually passed the Senate already, Ed, and all the House has to do is pick up and pass what we have done and passed in the Senate and send it to the president, and it would be signed. But let me just say, with the funeral coming up within the next hour, what happened to George Floyd should never happen to anyone at all in America, ever. Not equal justice under the law. Members all across the country are listening. They've seen the video. They're paying attention. People in Wyoming have met and marched and done it in large numbers and peacefully. We need a bipartisan solution, something that is lasting and will make we could even name it the George Floyd Act. But I will tell you, Ed, when I hear this call by Democrats all across the country to defund the police, to me, that is dangerous. That is inviting crime without punishment. The police have a vital role as public servants, lots of responsibility to provide safety and security. And as opposed to taking resources away, I think they may need more for training. There's lots of improvement that needs to be done, and I think they need more resources to get that done.
Training a key issue indeed. You're calling for bipartisanship there. When we played that clip from Steny Hoyer, you may have heard the laughter when he said we need some bipartisanship from Republicans, as if the Democrats who introduced their bill were laughing off the idea you'll work with them. And yet the facts are that Mitt Romney, your Republican colleague, says he's working, as you know, on a bipartisan bill, he says, with Tim Scott and others. And he says he can't believe the Democrats in the House did not reach out to him and other Republicans. He said it's a partisan document. I pressed a Democrat, Alyssa Slotkin, on that point. Here's her response, and I'll give you a chance to weigh in. Watch.
Thank you.
I can't speak for the Senate, but for the House, I know that there was outreach. And I think that that's important. I'm a big believer that if we're going to get something passed and signed into law, which is, I think, what the moment is calling for, it does have to be bipartisan. So if I'm glad to hear that Republicans want into this bill. That's a good thing. Let's get to the table and negotiate.
One of the things that struck me is that she was learning, essentially, in the interview. I'm glad to hear that Republicans want to work with us. Mitt Romney says, look, I've had this stuff out here. I want to work with them. I can't believe I didn't get a call. So how can Democrats come forward with this bill, say they want bipartisanship, and not pick up the phone?
Well, the Democrats don't pick up the phone. We've been working on this. Tim Scott in the Senate is manning and chairing our task force on this. It is the topic for discussion today at our policy lunch. Tim will be leading that discussion. He has lots of experience in this area. He brought the Opportunity Zone legislation to the tax bill, signed into law, making a difference in communities all across the country. So it is the topic for discussion today. There are things that we can do. I think things like a national data bank to take a look to make sure that police officers who have a bad record one place can't go to another makes a difference. I'm a doctor. We did that with a national data bank for physicians to make sure they couldn't go from state to state. We need bipartisan, lasting solutions, and Republicans are committed to doing that, Ed.
Senator, in the last 30 seconds we had John Sununu, the former White House chief of staff, on yesterday. He said, look, I still support President Trump strongly, but he fears that the White House has lost control a bit of the messaging. What's your message to the president this morning about the way forward?
Well, when you take a look at who the American people trust in terms of getting people back to work, in terms of helping rebuild the economy, and the numbers last week were remarkable, 2.5 million new jobs. That's the largest number of job growth and any month in the history of the United States, people look to President Trump to open the country, get us moving again, get people back to work, keeping us safe. That is what his message should continue to be through the election, and that's a message that will win for the president as well as for the United States Senate and Republicans.
That'll have to be the final word. Senator John Barrasso, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.